welcome to lesson 2 in linear relationships for stage 5.1. In the previous lesson we looked at midpoint, and today we're going to look at gradient. So you know you're making progress when you can find the gradient of an interval. So in your workbook we'll do some revision questions that will help with gradient. So we're going to simplify fractions and ratios. So you might like to pause the video, do the questions, and then check your work. So for question 8, we need to find the highest common factor, which in this case is 2, and then divide the top and the bottom numbers by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, 8 divided by 2 is 4. Question 9, same thing, highest common factor is 2. So 10 divided by 2, 2 divided by 2 gives us 5 over 1, which is 5. If we can leave it as a whole number, we should. 3/4 is fine the way it is. We don't want a decimal here. We want a simplified fraction. 5 as a whole number is acceptable. 5 over 15. 5 is the highest common factor. So divide top and bottom, both by 5. So we get 1 over 3. Question 11, it's the same kind of process. This one's the ratio, the other ones were fractions. Highest common factor is 2. So we divide 6 by 2 and we divide 10 by 2. So it looks like this. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. For question 12, 2 is a factor, so we could divide by 2, but that would give us 4 to 6, and then we'd need to simplify that. So if we divide by 4 to start with, we go straight to the answer. So 8 over 4 is 2, 12 over 4 is 3. For our notes, so these are the examples that go in your notes book. Example 2, find the rise and run between the 2 points. So these are our 2 points. So we need to find the rise over run for this interval, the red interval now. And then we can find the gradient. So it's the slope. Rise is this part, the vertical part. The rise is 1. The run is the horizontal bit part. So that is 2. Rise over run as a fraction is 1/2. So you can see up here. Gradient, rise over run, 1 over 2. So we have vertical over horizontal. It's worth noting here that when it goes up, when the slope of a line goes up, so imagine you're driving up a driveway, it has a positive gradient. If it's going down, you have a negative gradient. Questions. Quickly back to here, with the notes, make sure you're annotating, writing things in your own words. That helps with your long-term memory. Questions for the workbook now, so you might like to pause the video, do the questions, so this is going to be one at a time, and then you can check your work. The rise is the vertical part, so we go from this point to this point, so you could think about it here. You could go over here as well. Basically we're trying to make a right angle triangle, so you could do that part. So the rise is 3. So rise is 3. Run is the horizontal part. This is the run, which is also 3. So gradient equals rise over run, 3 over 3, which is 1. So for question 14, you can notice as we go from this point down to this point, we're going down. So we should get a negative gradient. So when you think about it going down, the rise is actually negative. So it actually goes down 3 and then across 2. So when we do the gradient, the rise over run becomes minus 3 over 2, which you could write as minus 3 over 2. So remember, negative goes down. This one's going back up again, so we should expect a positive number. The rise is 1. The run is 3. So our gradient is 1 over 3. Question 16. The rise, so again we want this right angle triangle. And how far does it rise? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how far does it run? 3. So the gradient, the rise over run, is 6 over 3. And like we did in the revision, we need to simplify the fraction. So the slope of this line is 2. For question 17, we can draw in the triangle, the right angle triangle. We need to find the rise. So this one's going down, so it's negative. It goes from 10 down to 2. So it actually goes down negative 8. The run goes from minus 2 to 2, so that's actually 4. So our gradient is minus 8 over 4, which is minus 2. So it's going down and it's quite steep. So although you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, so negative 4 over 2, you can count those and actually end up with the same number. The whole point is the ratio for the simplified fraction is going to be the same for both. Okay, it's time to reflect on your learning. As always, add any comments to the summary and your notes book. And you need to convince your friend that you know how to do these. So describe the meaning of the gradient of an interval joining 2 points and explain how it can be found. So the gradient, we're talking about slope, we're talking about rise over run. And we want to distinguish between the positive going up and negative going down. Okay, good luck. Let me know.